Hi, I'm a little nervous to film today because one of my latest videos did really well on my channel and I gained a bunch of new subscribers. So if you're one of them, welcome to my channel. Woo! And I'm so happy you're here because that means that we get each other, we understand each other, and we can relate to each other's pains, which makes us less lonely. So I'm glad we're on this journey together. But even though I'm nervous filming, I just gotta get over it and realize how excited I am to talk to you about this topic because I'm gonna tell you about one of my problems. Fun. But maybe you're going through the same thing and I've navigated through it and I found solutions and I'm excited to share that with you. So one of my issues is that I don't have the energy to be disciplined and self-improve. I really struggle with this. And I'm just tired of feeling tired, too tired to do the things that would make me better. And it's weird because I eat non-processed foods, I get good sleep, I exercise regularly. Like I get the three most basic things done that a lot of people even struggle to do. And still I have no energy to be disciplined in other areas of my life. Like, does this ever get easier? But then with any problem that I have, I reflect on it, I journal, I think about it. And I realize this. I can have my diet, my sleep, and my exercise in check because it doesn't require discipline for me anymore to do those things. It's just part of who I am. And to make my point even further, if you don't know me, I'm a professional soccer player. I'm an athlete. That is my job. And to be a high performer in my job, those three things have to be non-negotiable. So they are part of my identity. And because it is who I am, it doesn't feel like it requires that much discipline to follow through because it just is what it is for me. Now I have to ask myself the question, how can I get other things in my life to be part of my identity as well? Because I want to start reading more. I want to meditate more. I want to stretch more. I want to learn more. I want to practice hobbies. There are a lot of things that I'm trying to be more disciplined in doing to improve my life and grow as a person, but I have no fucking energy to do it. How do people actually do it? How do people follow through and stay disciplined? I don't know. I don't know what other people are doing, but I do know about myself. And I do know that there are times where I do feel energized and inspired and motivated to be disciplined and do the thing. There are times where it happens. So now I had to ask myself, what energizes me? And this is where I want you to start doing your homework. I want you to start thinking about your life, about what energizes you. And maybe by giving you some examples of what helps me, it's going to help you think about yourself. One of the things that I notice that gives me the energy to do things differently is when I have good conversation with people that are deep, raw, and unfiltered. When I don't have bullshit conversation, when I don't have fluff or surface level conversations, and instead I have the deeper ones, that energizes me so much. It makes me feel inspired. It makes me feel like I can do anything and I want to get after my dreams. Another thing that raises my energy is when I learn something new, when I gain a new perspective, when I cultivate wisdom and I gain knowledge. Those are all things that when it's happening, it makes me want to do it even more. Those are just two examples, and I'm going to give you more. But just so far, think about the fact that there are things that are unique to you that energizes you, and you need to figure those out. Another one for me is when I do something hard, when I don't feel like it, energizes me. You don't get energy before doing something. You get energy when you do it. I think that's the case for most people. I definitely know for myself that when I do something and I don't feel like it, that's when I want to do it. It's when I put all my feelings aside, when I shut off my lizard brain, when I take action, that I actually get motivated. It happens literally when I wake up in the morning and let's say I don't want to stretch. Like one of my habits I'm trying to do is wake up and stretch in the morning, because as an athlete, it's something that I neglect a lot. So I want to get my stretching in first thing in the morning. If I wake up and I snooze or I skip it because I don't feel like it, I'm not going to feel good, and I'm not going to feel like later on I'm going to want to do it. The only time that I actually want to do it is when I'm actually in the gym doing the stretches and feeling myself stretch. That's when I'm like, okay, this feels good. This is what I needed to do. And it feels so good afterwards. And then after that, I feel like I can do anything, literally. When you own the morning, you can own the day. And that's a wonderful thing. I wish that stretching was a therapeutic thing for me, but goddamn, it's so hard for me to do it. And when I wake up in the morning, I don't want to wake up. I want to stay in bed. But if I find a way to wake up by putting my alarm far away from my bed where I have to wake up, and I have my clothes ready, and I just stop thinking and start doing, and I just head to the gym and I do my stretches, that sets the tone for the day. And my day is a whole different vibe than if I would have slept in and snoozed. Whew, I don't know why I'm getting hot over this, but like, I just resonate with that so much. And I know that I am sabotaging myself when I don't respect those little rules that I set for myself. Now, another thing that energizes me is when I make people feel inspired. So I realize after I film a YouTube video, I feel so good. I am the most productive that day because I feel like I made myself inspired, but I made you inspired. I know that if you're watching, you're probably feeling inspired. You probably feel like you can do anything, that you can take action. And that makes me feel so good about myself. And then I got 2 more things on my list about what energizes me. When I am hydrated and when I drink caffeine, like I can't drink caffeine if I'm not hydrated. Like they have to go together, but I love both. Like caffeine is my drug of choice. I love caffeine. It just works really well for my body and my focus, and I'm just so grateful it exists. But I need to also have that water. I need to feel hydrated. If I feel hydrated and caffeinated, I feel so good. So I know it sounds trivial, but to me, I realize that that's something that energizes me. So might as well create my day and celebrate when I get caffeine and not just take it for granted. Just really be grateful that I have caffeine, because I know that will energize me. And if you associate the caffeine to something that is so positive and that will make you focus and energized to do other things, you're more likely to do those things. And then finally, the last point is when I do an SDR or meditate or just close my eyes for like 15 minutes when I'm tired, that energizes me. Because so often I refuse to take a nap. I refuse to relax. I refuse to just close my eyes for a couple minutes because I feel like I should be productive. But that always hurts me. That always makes me less productive. That makes me anxious and restless. And I end up feeling bad for myself. And I feel like I'm not even as productive anyways. So when I do take the time, just those couple minutes to do some NSDR, I can actually reset. And I feel much better afterwards. It's those little things, that little list became so clear to me that when I don't feel motivated to do anything, when I don't feel energized or tired, those are the things I've noticed that do make me feel good. And I want you to create that list for yourself because, first of all, you will get to know yourself better. A lot of us don't want to know ourselves because, I don't know, we're scared or we're lazy. But if you end up taking the time to get to know yourself, you will stop engaging in self-sabotaging behaviors. What I mean by that is when you don't know yourself, it's almost like you're living with an imposter. You're living with, not incognito, a stranger. It's like you're living with a stranger and you don't like that feeling. You don't like to feel like you don't know this person that is embodying your soul. So what do? You self-sabotage by being distracted, by going on your phone, by watching TV, by eating junk food. There are things that you do that pull you away from that greater version of yourself. So get to know yourself, get to know what energizes you. And I think what really, really helps to figure out what energizes you is to realize what actually drains you. What are the habits or the behavior that sucks the life out of you? And those honestly come easier. I know that when I'm eating and I'm not hungry, or I'm eating because I'm bored, that drains me. A while ago, I had this really disordered eating where I would undereat for a couple days, and then suddenly I would binge eat one night and feel extremely guilty about it. No wonder I had no energy to do anything, because not only would I starve myself from day after day, but my mind was always thinking about food. And how can I have the energy to do other things when I don't even fuel my body properly, when I don't even have my basic need met? Another thing that drains me is when I scroll through social media with no purpose. And I say with no purpose because I need to go on social media sometimes to understand what is trendy, what are people talking about, what are people's pains, because I like to know what's going on in the world. I don't really talk to a lot of people besides my own circle. So it's nice to know what's going on outside of the world. But if I don't go with that intention, I realize I end up scrolling and wasting so much time, and it makes me feel so shitty. Which brings up the next point of something that drains me, is when I compare myself to others. When I start comparing myself, I realize that I never feel good. And I only compare myself when I'm on social media. So if I don't go on social media to produce something or to actually have an agenda of why I'm going, I should not consume it at all, because it literally does not do me any good. It does not inspire me. Another thing that absolutely drains me is being around people that complain or are negative, and I participate in it. Because I cannot control the fact that there are negative people around me all the time. I used to be in an environment that was extremely toxic, and it's going to happen. I don't have to let that affect me. But when I felt like I needed to participate in it to feel like I belong in the group, a group that I don't even want to belong to, but I did it because you get sucked up into that environment, that would drain me. So you could either remove yourself physically or mentally from that situation, which is what I've done. I just chose to not participate in those things because I knew that if I just agreed or complained with them just to get validation from the group, it did not do me any good and did not do them any good. It literally made the world a worse place for everyone. So might as well just remain unbothered and focus on you. Another thing that drains me is always thinking about what I should be doing, is always planning, which I would come into this analysis paralysis period where I would analyze so much what I wanted to do that I would become paralyzed and not doing anything. So if I do not take action, that drains me. What energizes me is when I do something. And I know there's a time and place for self-care, which I'll go to in my last point, but in general, when I'm about my day and it's time to take action, I should take action. It's when I don't do it and I think about doing it that it drains me, because then everything's happening in my body, but nothing's happening outside of it. I'm not producing anything. And then finally, something that drains me is if I don't wind down before bed. I realize that if I'm on the go all day and I don't have a period before bed where I wind down, it sets up the tone for the next day. If I go to bed stressed out, overthinking, or on the go and just doing shit before bed, I'm not telling my body it's time to relax, and then I carry this stress all throughout my sleep. And then the next morning, I don't want to wake up because I felt like I didn't rest at all throughout my night. So it's very important for me to have an evening routine that makes me wind down, that tells me it's time to relax and take care of myself. The reason why I wanted to tell you about this and tell you what energizes me and what drains me is to maybe give you some food for thought, for you to start reflecting on your life and think about what energizes you and what drains you. And just do more of what energizes you and do less of what drains you. And you won't be perfect, but just being aware of those things is the perfect step to start. If you're not aware, you cannot change. But once you become aware, now you know all you have to do is just do it. After you are crystal clear about what energizes you, there are a couple of things that you can do to actually help you keep doing that. One of the things is to have some sort of accountability. So you want to either tell maybe a friend about it, or start a challenge, or have a partner that keeps you accountable. You could post it online. You could post it on YouTube. You could show your progress. For me, I'm trying to learn a new language right now. What did I do? I bought books. I scheduled a tutor. Okay, I said bought books because it holds me accountable in the way that I don't like wasting money. So I'm buying books and I'm holding myself accountable because I hate wasting money. You know what I'm saying? And then the tutor, I literally did not waste any time to find a tutor just so I can have conversations with and practice with and some sort of accountability. So spending money again. If I spend money, I wanted to make it worthwhile. And then another thing, which I really like, and that I think could really, really help you, is create this emotional vision board of what you want to do to be where you want to go. So all the actions that energize you or that make you feel inspired, I want you to create this board on Pinterest. Literally go on Pinterest. It's so easy. You can take photos that speak to you and make a collage. And then after that, I want you to print that and put it in a place that you see every single day that is personal to you. And after a while, I want you to change that spot because your mind will get used to seeing that spot and it will kind of like forget it. It's almost like, I don't know, a stain that you have on your shirt. Like at first you notice it, but then after some time you like forget that it's there. So you want to change that vision board at different areas after some time so you can always feel like it's new and you can notice it. Your brain will notice it. But that's a good way for you to feel energized, to feel that emotional connection, because a lot of times that's what's missing. It's the emotion behind the action. So that could really help. And then lastly, I just want you to structure your day, write out your perfect day from A to Z with the things that energize you within it. So if you know that when you meditate, it energizes you because you feel so good about yourself, put it on your schedule every single day to do it. If you know that calling your grandma energizes you, schedule it in your schedule. And just try to follow that schedule as perfectly as possible. And it won't be perfect, but you just trying over time, just doing a little bit every single day, you will be consistent. Overall, you will be consistently doing the habits and it will become part of who you are. And it will make you have momentum and keep going. I always end up taking a deep breath once in a video because I'm like talking so much and I forget how to breathe. Anyways, I'm done speaking. You can leave this video, but thank you so much for watching. I love you so much and I hope you got something out of it. Welcome to the tribe, baby. I'm so happy you're here and I will see you in 2 days in a new video. Mwah.